Today's interview is with Lian Dolan. She's like Liam, but no, it's Lian. It's like the female version. I really got to know Lian like she was one of those girls I grew up with in South Boston, except, yeah, she's Irish. She has a big family, but she happens to be a New York Yankees fan. But besides that, she's awesome. She's a writer, she's a producer of the Satellite Sisters podcast, which was a nationally syndicated radio show. She has personality for days, and I think you'll enjoy this interview.
Welcome to the Purpose Rockstar Podcast, inspiring stories of people who found purpose in their careers 5 days a week. Unleash your inner rockstar and tap into your highest purpose with your host, Derek Duplessis.
Welcome to the Purpose Rockstar Podcast. I'm your host, Derek Duplessis, Executive Director of the Duplessis Foundation. We're helping inner city entrepreneurs to pursue their purpose by training them to run a successful business. This show is an extension of our mission to help you and people all over the world find purpose in their work. Let me tell you a little bit about today's guest. Lian Dolan does it all. She produces the weekly podcast, The Chaos Chronicles, a fun look at modern motherhood. She writes for Oprah.com as a parenting expert. And a decade ago, Lian created Satellite Sisters, an award-winning talk show with her 4 real sisters. Her books include Helen of Pasadena and Satellite Sisters Uncommon Senses. We talk about her charmed life as a professional storyteller. Should be a lot of fun. Enjoy.
Purpose Rockstars, let's do this.
Now take us to the flip side. What was a big aha moment for you where everything just clicked?
You know, when my first book came out, Helen of Pasadena, it's a social satire. And it's about a woman who has to reinvent herself. And because her husband is run over by a Rose Parade float. And so, that's how it starts. And then she goes on this journey. And I had written the book, and I the publishing story. I had managed to find a publisher, and I didn't get a giant advance. We were bringing it out sort of with a small press, and it wasn't until I was actually like writing my own press release on the book, because that's what authors have to do. They have to do all their own PR. I was doing my own Q&A, asking myself questions and then answering them, and I had to sort of sum up what's the book about, and I said, well, it's about a woman reinventing herself, and that's when I realized, like, oh my gosh, that's what I just did. 2 years ago I was a radio host, and now I'm a novelist and a podcaster, and I actually reinvented myself over the course of writing the book, and I hadn't even thought about that. Like, that hadn't occurred to me. I was just sort of working day to day, getting the work done, telling a story, and all of a sudden I had a new identity, and that was a huge moment for me. And the book went on to do very well as an LA Times bestseller and nominated for some fiction awards. And it was that moment before it had even come out that I thought, I did it. I did it. No matter, even if one person doesn't buy this book, I did it.
Beautiful. Now, let's dive into the work that you're doing now. Sort of when people come up to you, what do you tell them is your occupation or your vocation?
It's hard. It's hard to even know what's on the business card. But I just say I'm a writer and broadcaster, because that is what I do. And the medium doesn't really matter to me. I have a couple of talk shows, I have a blog, a couple of columns, I write, and that's essentially what I do. I'm a writer and a broadcaster, and whatever opportunity may come up in those areas, I'm going to take a look at it.
There's more to that interview? Yeah, more. And you can find all of it at purposerockstar.com. Link is right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. So it's really, really awesome that you can go to purposerockstar.com. If you're one of those on-the-go Apple people, you can check it out on iTunes. There's the link. And for my non-Apple people, I'm going to make sure there's a link on Stitcher somewhere next to me. So you got iTunes, Stitcher, and PurposeRockstar.com. Tell your friends, tell your family. We're on Twitter and Facebook, and somehow we'll be on LinkedIn. I don't know. But at least we'll be on Twitter and Facebook. And one final favor. Pursue your purpose. It needs you.